Hello, and welcome to Rallying the Forge. I'm your host, Sol. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rallying the Forge. This is Solimer, and in this episode, we are going to, I'm going to show a TableTop Simulator version of SolForge Fusion that I use for my internal testing, and it's just, it is what it is. So it's going to be a mirror match. It's 2 decks on my account, so I have to use Tabletop to do it because I can't do it in the client effectively. So I've loaded the decks in. I got to pick which Forgeborn they're going to use. I'm not going to explain how to use TTS. That's a whole different thing. But you'll see me play. I'll try to talk through some of my decisions. And we'll just kind of see how this goes. Pretty sure that's the one I want. Yeah. These have the same Tempest half and different Necrim halves. It's just I had my Worlds deck, and then I found another Tempest half that was like my Worlds Tempest half. I found a Necrim half that was similar, or 2 Necrim halves that were similar or interesting to pair with it, that were similar to my Worlds Necrim half. So I made some more versions of that same deck. I have the 1 half, which is the top half currently as you're viewing it. This is my Worlds Necrim half with the new Tempest half, and then this other one is it's the same Tempest half that the other deck has, plus a new Necrim half. And then I have another pairing with this Tempest half, I believe. I need to actually pair this Tempest or this Necrim half, this one here, with my World's Tempest half. I should do that to test it out as well. So I'm just trying to. So one thing I didn't do. This is kind of off script, so to speak, but one thing I didn't do with my Worlds deck was I never went back and looked at what other possibilities could I pair either of those halves with. I think I was just happy enough to find a deck that was really strong. I did try to find other decks, but nothing else was as strong as that deck, so that's what I ended up playing with. And now that I've had time to reflect, I've had these for several months now, but I made some new versions of a similar style deck. Actually, lots of other similar style decks with the control aggro style Necrim Tempest. But so it's just kind of maybe seeing if there's a better pair out there that would be better than my Worlds pair. I'm not against finding better combinations, so that's just something I do. This is just in my internal testing. I don't know if these ones have faced off before. Let me pull that up and see. I'll show you my matrix I use. So I have obviously all the decks. I don't think since I recorded last time that I don't even know if I've done any matches since then. I may have. So if it's advanced some, I've done some matches. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch it myself to see where we were at with it when I showed it initially. I also have the Champions Bracket. We have the number 12 seed going against the number 4 seed. So obviously one is doing better than the other. So the version 2 here is 9-4. It's doing very well. And then the version 3 is 3-2. So it's had a lot less matches. So when I entered it into the series, I don't get to just enter all my decks in. I restricted it down to 34 decks, and I may have entered that one earlier and didn't want to flood with a bunch of the same decks. I'm kind of regretting. I had 12 Rallying the Minion decks, and I inserted maybe half of them, so I don't even have half of them in here, but I might be regretting it a little bit because it's too many of a similar style deck. So I do have some new decks that I created. I don't know if I think I did it on stream. I don't think I did it on a video. So I do have some new decks made to insert into the series once I complete this one out, which is what I'm trying to do ultimately, is get these matches done. I have to do on tabletop all the ones that are on when the decks are on same accounts. So this one, this one down here, and then this one here will be same account. This one here will be same account. The rest of these actually are going to be all TTS. And then here, these are both going to be same account. This will be same account. This is different accounts, so I'll be able to do that depending on who wins here. It'll be one or the other. This will be different. This will be TTS. So this will be in the client. I'm going to try and do it in client. I have to figure out how I can capture both screens from two computers. I'll work on that. But like I said, that's all off script here. So let's get back to the TTS portion with the decks. Got the Forgeborns selected. So I'm going to start the game. It's going to flip one of the Forgeborns, or it'll bring up an error. It brings up an error anyway. So it flipped this one. So this deck's going to go first. Obviously, I can see both hands. I try not to look at the other hand, when I'm playing. I try to be impartial as best I can. I know what both decks have. It's no different than being able to look at the Forgeborn and see what cards they have in their deck. But, knowing what they have in their hand can definitely affect how someone plays, and I try not to let that be part of the equation. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through my cards. Don't really care for my hand, but I do like the Teacher with Burnout. Teacher, I'll play it in the center. It can move. It's definitely it's a good card. Better at the higher levels. Definitely helps. Can definitely do some removal shenanigans. So now we look at this hand. And I definitely want to get the Shambling Summoner going. It's a really good card because it's Defender. It's harder to kill. If they don't, I can play it second. And if they don't, that if I played it right now, they'd potentially be able to play across from it and, damage it or take care of it potentially. So I want to play it second potentially. I would like to play a spell to be able to play the minion from its activate because it carries through the entire turn even if it's not on the board at the time. The Forsaken Reaper, it can be a good card, but sometimes, I think more often than not, I don't really like to play it. Blitzing Ice Crusher would take care of him, but they can move it. So it's not a guarantee. This doesn't do me any good. It's just 4 damage. Yeah, it brings him down to 1, but this would be nice if I had... Next turn it would be better with a minion on the board potentially to sacrifice. This would be a 4/5. It's actually kind of nice with the Shambling, but I don't have to have the minion, I guess. I think what I'll do is I'll do this to force him to move his Teacher over. And if he as long as he doesn't have 2 elementals, this guy won't die. I'm going to play that. He's aggressive. So he's obviously going to move him over, and then he's going to play Burnout, which gives him a Spell Sprite. Does he want it there? His creatures can get +2. He could eat the 5. So I think he's going to do that. Excuse me. Because he can play other elementals next turn potentially and just kill it at that point. And he's going to push some damage against me. So he does 2 damage to it. And now it's my turn. I didn't play a spell, so I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. I want this as far away from that as possible. So I do have the Shamble effect. I cannot activate it, did not play a spell. So I'm taking 9. And they're going to take 5. So we end turn. And now we are back to this. So this is a good play. Oh man, this is a tough hand. Whoa, I like a lot of stuff here. Warbringer Ritual, I like to get leveled up. It's nice because I get that plus the minion, but the problem is if he gets an elemental, he's just going to kill him off. But I do have the Furious Shard back to come back out. I guess what I want to do... I think I'm going to play this for the Spell Sprite. And then I am going to activate to get a mindless zombie minion on the board across from that. My hope is that he's going to want to move it over on the off chance I can somehow pump him. So that's the thought process. Over here, he's also got the Warbringer Ritual. He's got Electronet, which is nice. It's a good back pocket card here. Zrath's Will, if he can find some way. So this is really good, actually. He's actually got... He's got the Fleet Master, so when you play another mage, you get a Spell Sprite minion. So I think we're going to go... We can Om Nom Nom. I love leveling up Om Nom. He's got a really good hand as well. I love all 5 of these cards for this deck. But do I want to play the mage elemental shenanigans with the deck? It's the red half has a teacher and a master in it. It's got Warbringer Ritual, which is really nice for it. If I play this, they might want to target this down more so than him because this generates the elemental that he needs. But then he's going to have the Warbringer Ritual to bring that out anyway to do the 2 damage to that. And it just kind of sits there. They don't have any way to gain life. And Om Nom Nom's nice, but maybe we just wait on that. I don't really want to pass this up. I could do this right now. Move him over, drop this, and skip this, but this is a really nice card to get going. This is a mirror match, so it's gonna be really hard, I think, to do this. I think I bring him over, and I'm gonna drop this first. So do I go open lane with it? I think I do. Which pumps his attack 2, and I get to deal 2 damage, so we're going to kill him off. And now he should want to focus on attacking that somehow. So for me... Another thing I could have done, but I wanted to level that up, was play the Charger Mammoth and put the Fairy Shard back on top of it. But at worst, I'll maybe do that with the level 2 Shard back. I'm definitely playing the Shard back. You've got to play the Shard back. So. And then all their creatures take 2. Oops. So that's my move. And now it's their turn. Now they have choices to make. They actually have Electronet's free, so he was pumped, so now he's reduced to 0. That's a great move there. And he also gets +2, and he gets +2. So we definitely want to Om Nom Nom this over to here. which gives us 2 more attack. Wow, he's really pushing some damage. This is a great setup for him to be in. Great spot. He did not gain any health. He can't play any more cards then. So he's going to deal 15 damage across, which is huge damage here. Oh, he did lose one. He gained one from the shambles. And then he's going to die to the damage there. Doesn't deal any. And you'll see also, because everything's not automated, you have to do everything yourself. Where's it go? You have to remember to do everything yourself. So we had another shamble trigger. I'm trying to think if he got rid of... He did get rid of that guy, so you have another shamble trigger. That happened. Yeah, so he got rid of that, and that this turn. So he got the 3 shamble triggers. So it's a little bit closer than what it was, but it's still 15 damage is a huge swing here in cycle 1, turn 2. So that's good. And now we go to the next turn. So he's got a really good board state. He's got a Windy Stonefist. He used some spells. So let's look. He's got 4 spells played. So he can really hit something pretty hard here for that 4. I think. Oh, man. So I love the Charger Mammoth in this Tempest half. The Commander's really nice with, shard backs, additional procs. The Windy Stonefist and the Dr. Frankenbaum. I love Dr. Frankenbaum. The level 3 can be so dangerous. He's always a threat. The level 2 is pretty stout. So the only card I don't care for here is the Zithian Dreadmaw. It's just one of those cards. But I do love Frankenbaum. I think I'm going to go with the Charger Mammoth, though. This gives me some flexibility here on what I can play next, what I want to do, depending on what he comes on the board with. Obviously, I don't have any spells anyway, but I probably would go Frankenbaum or the Stonefist, depending here what he puts. If I can wipe something off with the Stonefist, I'll probably go with the Stonefist. I'm not going to ping him for that, though. Okay, so his hand. So we have Vampiric Creeper, which can proc the Zrath's Will, which would be really nice. We also have, playing Zrath's Will lets me get another minion from the Shambling Summoner. There's a small chance that he doesn't eat the damage and he destroys a creature. I doubt it. His board state is favorable at this juncture. The other card I would really consider playing is maybe Burnout. Once I get everything else on the board, I'm going to have 3 creatures. That gives me 4 creatures, probably too many actually. But I get all my creatures plus 2. It's going to help wipe off everything on his board potentially. Only thing I might have trouble with is going to be here. He's only 1 attack, going to 3, doesn't even kill that. So I think I'm going to start with the Vampiric Creeper. So he wants to definitely kill the 9. It's going to deal 2 damage to him. I gain 2. And then he's going to just eat the 5. That's what I would do. And then do I want to play this now? If he's got removal, he would have done it already. Because he played that, he's probably just going to overwrite it to force kill it. So I don't think he's going to have removal. I think I wait to see what he does. So he's going to clear a spot for me. Doing 4 damage doesn't make this any better. Getting 3 extra damage through, while nice, doesn't matter that much. I got 11 coming through. He's probably going to block 1. If he plays a spell, he still probably blocks 1. He's probably going to block him. The Commander isn't necessary to buff. I mean, the bonus attack can be nice, but it's not. I'm not using it right now. I think I'm going to go with the Frankenbaum. So it gets +4/+4. And he's going to generate a zombie, mindless zombie minion for me. Ultimately. I could do Windy Stonefist. That clears that lane. If I overwrite that and I just leave that, but I don't want his Shamblers to stay out there. So this is the equivalent of the undo button, the back button on there. So I just undid what I did. I'm considering now, because he is an elemental, I can blast this off the board, push the 9 with the 5 and 6. Yes, his guy lives, but I can overwrite next turn. It's tough. So I think I'm actually going to do that then. So that's going to be 6 damage to that. That's wiped off. Puts a little more pressure on him. I think that's better, pressure-wise. So now it's my turn. I've gained health this turn. So I can play Zarath's Will. Mindless Zombie here. We get a Mindless Zombie from that. And then we're going to get Burnout. Oh wait, this got +2. Now it gets +2 more. We get a Spell Sprite, and all my minions get +2. Or all my creatures, sorry, not just minions. So that's my turn. That's a pretty good turn there. So combat-wise, his board is basically getting wiped, except for this. So we got 4 Shamble triggers. And suddenly the health totals have gone from pretty big far apart to now it's back on top with the Shamble triggers, which is really nice. So that was turn 3, the end of that. Now we are on cycle 2. We can use our Forgeborn abilities. They both have the same. They give them +2 attack, and they get mobility 1. So I could potentially use that. Then I wouldn't be able to use the other portion of this. I want to somehow kill that. Is there any way to do that? No. I like that card, but I'm going to end up playing this. Wow, that's going to be so many bodies. That don't matter. We're going to play the Charger Mammoth. Okay. So his turn now. He's got his Shambling Demon in hand. Wonderful. Burnout, Zarath's Will, Blitzing Ice Crusher. This is going to give something aggressive anyway. So I think I want to play the Shambling Demon on top of it before he can potentially remove it and give this +4/+4. So he gets aggressive and breakthrough this turn. I'll have to remember on the breakthrough because it doesn't necessarily transfer like that. And that's going to be my play. And back to my other deck. So we like Warbringer Ritual. 2 Spell Sprite minions, not necessarily in those lanes, and a free spell, which will be this, which is going to be a... Do I want to move him? No. I just have to let him die. No. So we're going to have... I think we're going to do it this way. Because I played a spell after they were on the board, they get +2 attack. Do I want him to go on top of that, though, maybe? Make him a big 10-10. He's got an 8-11. Why don't I get a 10-10 out there? So I'm going to replace that, and then I'm going to activate this to get a mindless zombie minion on the board. I think because his board is fairly empty, I'm going to activate my ability and give my guys plus attack. Mobility I'm not going to use, obviously. And now it's his turn. So he has a choice here. The Blitzing Ice Crusher doesn't help him much. He does have Breakthrough. The Aggressive doesn't help him. It does kill. It will trade with something, one of these 3 creatures. He'd probably want to do one of the elementals. But doesn't really want to eat the 12. He's already down deficit 4 health on him. This could trade with something here as well, and give him +2/+2, which is nice, but at the same time it's kind of meh. This playing a Spell Sprite minion, it'll get +3, so it'll be at a 4. It'll be a 4/4. It pumps him up, but the 4/4 can trade with one of these guys again. Doesn't do anything for him in that regard. This 7 with 2 would be 9, so he can't kill him. So he doesn't need to use this for sure, unless he wants to let that live and move over to block something else to prevent some damage. He's taking a lot of damage here, no matter what he does. This is a tough position to be in, I think. And I mean, it's a mirror match, and it depends on which cards you draw in the matchup, how that's going to affect what you have. I mean, so I'm talking through these, and this is what anyone I think would do when they're playing against themselves, trying to be impartial when they're playing on a certain half of the board. But this is my process of when I'm playing decks, what I do. And this just happens to be the mirror match that I've got here. So, I don't know which card I really like to play the best here. I think the Ice Crusher gives me more answers, but him taking 22 damage is almost game over for him. Not to mention he's taking shamble damage. He gets it back, some of it, a little bit, but it's so... And then he still has to deal with the 12 and the 2 5s next turn. He's not going to have much health left. I don't know if there's a good answer here. So that's what we're going to play. Let's do the damage unblocked first. So the 22... is going to take him down to 9. Okay. These two kill each other. He's got 1 breakthrough coming through. And then here does 5. He's got breakthrough as well, so he's taking 6. And then he's going to die. So he's got 1, 2 shambles. And he's got 1 shambles. So that's where that stands. He still has his Forgeborn ability. So these decks are both meant to be aggressive and try to control the board. So this hand is not super bad, really. This hand actually is pretty darn good. So you just start off right away, minus 10 from his attack. So he's down to a 2. Free play. And then how does he want to play this? Because he can do that. That's a nice swing, actually. Getting rid of that to block that. He gets 2 more guys out there, plus the Mammoth. So maybe the Mammoth goes here. I think I like that play. Right now, anyway. So, okay, we do the Mammoth. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that play. Over here, ooh, making life difficult for him. He can't. This is a good play here. So I think I'm gonna play Vampiric Creeper, deal 3, and now he has to take 6, or unless they destroy one of their creatures. If they take 6, they lose. So he's going to get rid of his Shambler. So he gains 1, and they lose 1. That's a really strong play. That's awesome. I love Vampiric Creeper. definitely one of my a favorite type of card. That just is such a good synergistic card. Okay, so that's his play. That really hurts. If he's got aggressive, he probably wins here. He does, unfortunately. So we're going to play the Warbringer Ritual. So with that in mind, now I know I looked at their hand, but if I was playing, I thought about it before I even looked at his hand. So knowing that, I mean, he just go to whatever lane he wants with it. But if we do that, well, no, well, it don't matter, because we're going to kill that. So we get those two played. Play a spell for free. Boom. We kill this to get this. These two go up 2. I could pump my guys plus 2 more. It don't matter, because if he's got the open lane, he can just go right through it. There's nothing else I could have done. If I had a little more health, I would have taken the damage. So on his turn, he just plays the Blitzing Ice Crusher. Over top of that, he's going to deal 9 and killing me. So the white health deck wins. So that is that deck 3 that wins? So let's look at the Chrome screen. And we have to go to so the white deck is the top deck. Version 3 won. So version 3 beat version 2. So there's version 3. Where's version 2? There's 4. Version 2 and number 5. So 2 lost. Interesting. That was their first matchup. First mirror match. So where's the other win date? It's 17. This deck beat number 17 and lost to number 5. Has this played 17? 17 beat this one, but this one beat that one. So you got a circle here with these decks. They've only played one each, but one beat one and lost to the other, and then the other, the other. So they all work around. So they're all not like one deck won both matches. So interesting result there. So the standings. Well, let me go back here to make sure everything got filled in. So it now drops down to there in the redemption bracket. Against Omni Dinosaurs. Fun. So, yeah, so nothing's eliminated, but we can update the standings. And now the version 3 is in the 4th spot, and it's now in the 6th spot. That's opposite of where they were. But their percentages are really close. The opponent win percentage, they're both facing solid decks. So yeah, so this is just the process I go through after each match. So that's going to be all I have for this video. I appreciate your time watching the video, supporting the channel by doing so. If you want to like, subscribe, or comment, feel free to do so. I appreciate it either way. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to making some more on other aspects of the internal testing that I have yet to show, and eventually give you a somewhat complete picture of what I go through and how it helps me with my deck choices. So thank you, and I will see you guys next time, and I'll see you guys in game and around, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you very much. This has been an episode of Rallying the Forge. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.